And the process of naming things that you thought were kind of inviolable rules, but actually describing them as assumptions that are really guesses or opinions, that unlocks so much more creative space and so much more opportunity. Yeah, so experts' assumptions is a great way to start to challenge what some of the orthodoxies in your particular topic might be or your organization. So it's based on a practice, everybody's heard of brainstorming, right? But there's another practice called assumption storming, which is also extremely powerful. And you can use it at various stages in your work, but it's essentially you list all of the assumptions that you might have gathered from kind of reading some of the expert literature or watching documentaries or doing research, or even just the sort of ideas that are embedded in your own organization. So the example that I use in the book is like, if you're redesigning a library entranceway for your community, what are all the assumptions that you have about libraries? They have to be quiet. They're free for everybody. You have to have a library card. You have to have be vetted for that. There's an expert librarian who can help you. It's like they provide computer access, right? There's a whole bunch of assumptions that you might list. Now, some of those might be completely factual and you kind of cluster those as facts, but then a lot might be opinions or guesses. Like that idea that a library has to be quiet, there's a tradition there, but is that still relevant? I don't know. That's kind of an opinion, right? And so you might then selectively choose. There's a number of ideas in the opinions and guesses column that you should challenge a little bit. So you just flip those. You would say, I'm going to assume this is not true, and design, like, what would I design if this assumption were not true? And the process of naming things that you thought were kind of inviolable rules, but actually describing them as assumptions that are really guesses or opinions, that unlocks so much more creative space and so much more opportunity. And it's particularly helpful if you do that with your team or with your group or department, because I'm holding an assumption, you're holding a different assumption, Bob, Jeremy's holding a third assumption. And if we those are unintentionally creating these invisible constraints to our problem solving. And if we can actually surface those, then we can say, oh, let's collectively say we're going to set that one aside right now and see what might happen in kind of a short ideation session.